So the previous video we talked about what a histogram was. Think aloud about what we learned. We learned that histograms represent continuous data, so there is no gaps in between the bars. And the y-axis represents something called frequency density. The reason why we have an axis called frequency density is because visually the bars within the histogram are able to represent the frequency correctly. This is because to find the frequency of any of the bars, you just need to find the area of each of the respective bars to find each of the respective frequencies. What I'd like you to do now is copy this key equation down. Frequency of a bar equals area of histogram bar. If we then consider this histogram to represent the number of seconds different ladybirds fly in the air for any given one time, we can work out the number of ladybirds that fly for between 0 and 40 seconds, for example, by finding the area of the first bar. We do this by multiplying the interval range, which is the largest value, take the smallest value, by the frequency density, which is halfway in between 0 and 1, so it must be 0.5. This will then give us an answer of 20. Going on to bar 2, we need to find the frequency interval to find out the number of ladybirds that flew for between 40 and 120 seconds. As you can see here, the interval range is 80 and the frequency density is halfway in between 2 and 1, so the answer is going to be 1.5, giving us 120 when you multiply 1.5 and 80 together. For frequency number 3, we apply the same process, giving us an answer of 140. Have a go at finding the answers for frequency 4 and frequency 5. Sometimes we may be asked to consider a question such as estimate the number of ladybirds that flew for between 30 and 90 seconds. Using this visual clue, have a think out loud of how we would answer this question. Hopefully you can see that we need to find the area of this rectangle, 1, as well as this rectangle, 2. And it should be clear that it doesn't encompass the whole interval of each of the bars. So to find the area of rectangle 1, all you need to do is multiply the interval range, which is going to be 10, by the height, which is going to be 0.5, giving us 5 as our answer. And then for rectangle 2, have a think about how we would answer that question. Hopefully you can see that we multiply the interval range, which is how we get from 40 to 90, which is 50, by 1.5, giving us an answer of 75. So to find the number of ladybirds that flew between 30 and 90 seconds as an estimate, we add those two figures together, giving us a total of